Chapter 3. If there is no struggle, there is no progress. Frederick Douglass, abolitionist, ex-slave, from a speech given at Canandaigua, New York, August 4th, 1857. When Jason reached them, Easter bent down and peered closely into his eyes. What else you hear them say? Nothing, just what I tell you. What's a Yankee? His brown eyes were wide with wonder. Easter straightened up, adjusting her head wrap. Ain't quite sure, but I think a person from the north. I find out tonight from Mistress. Since Easter and Jason slept in the house, she knew everything that happened or was about to happen. Obie slept in the hayloft in the barn. Obie turned to Jason. Get that water 'fore Wilson finds something else for you to do. He and Easter sat down on the ground waiting for Jason to come back. I wonder if Buka know about Tyler, Obie said. People been sneaking in and out of the shack all day bringing the news. You know he know. When the red sun slid behind the oak grove, Martha Jennings called Easter to help her prepare supper. I take the mules back, Obie told her. You go on to Mistress. Obie led the mules to the barn while Jason went to bring in the cows from the pasture that spread out behind the house. As Obie neared the barn, John Jennings came in behind him. He left his mule so that Obie could empty his and Martha's sacks and finish bundling the leaves. Obie welcomed the smell of hay and animals in the cool darkness of the barn. Over the years, this had become his own private place. He put the mules in their stalls. Jason brought in the cows and then clambered up the ladder and threw down hay for the mules. When you think we going to Master Phillips? He called down to Obie. Don't know. Obie hoped Jason wouldn't bother him with a lot of questions. Guess Master Phillips get them Yankees for killing Tyler. Guess so, Obie said, as he placed a bundle of leaves under the work table. When you done feeding the mules, make sure all the pigs in the pen and the chickens inside their coop. Obie, what you think the... Quit all that talking and tend to your work, Obie said. Jason finished feeding the animals in silence and ran out of the barn. Obie hadn't meant to be nasty to Jason, but he wanted to think about Tyler's death and the war. He understood none of it except that Yankees were killing the people who held him in bondage. Maybe this was a good time to try to get to the island. A half-hour later, Jason walked slowly back into the barn. All the pigs and chickens in, he said. Put up the harnesses and straighten them tools, then we wash. Jason quietly did as he was told, standing on the milking stool Obie had made for him so that he could hang the harnesses on their hooks. He stepped off the stool and rested the pitchforks against the wall near the spare axe handles. If we carry the leaves to plantation tomorrow morning, I ask Master, can you come? Obie said. Jason grinned and almost tripped over the milking stool. Don't run your mouth. Easter will tell us what she'll find out about Tyler when we eat. After they finished their chores, they went to the shed behind the barn and washed themselves in the tin tub. When they were done, they carried the tub to the creek near the oak grove to fill again, so they'd have water for the following day. When the tub was full, Obie hesitated. He couldn't see it in the darkness, but Buka's shack was only a few feet away. He said to Jason, I going to see Buka. Keep watch for me. You see Wilson or Master, then sing that song you was singing today, and I come back. Obie didn't expect that anyone would come looking for him. The family should be eating by now. But as Obie and Jason lifted the tub out of the creek, they were both startled by the sound of someone stepping on twigs and dry leaves. Master John walked over to them. I was looking for you. Carry that water back, and then clean me and Master Wilson's boots. Yes, sir, Obie said. Jennings started to walk away and then turned around. Don't none of you leave this farm, lest I rate you a pass. And you stay away from that old man, Obie. Obie almost asked him, which old man? Hardly believing that he was talking about Buka. He could understand why Jennings wouldn't want him to be with Buka if there was work to do, but otherwise he had never stopped Obie from going. Sometimes on Sundays he would even let Obie fish with Buka all day. Master John turned and stomped off quickly. The twigs and branches crunched noisily under his feet. Why he angry? Jason whispered loudly as they lifted the tub again. Hush. Obie wondered the same thing. Master John wasn't a jovial man, but Obie had never known him to be angry for no reason. They carried the tub back to the shed, sloshing water as they went along. When they returned to the barn, 2 pairs of boots had been placed near the barn door. Why Master don't want you to see Buka? Jason asked. Don't know. Obie pulled the milking stool from under the hayloft and picked up one of the worn black boots. Bring my cleaning rags and stop asking me questions I can't answer. Obie was glad when Easter finally called them to eat. Maybe she found out something that would explain Master John's new rules. Jason and Obie carried the cleaned and polished boots to the house and left them outside each man's bedroom door. Martha and the two men were in the sitting room. The smell of savory stew came from the large kitchen where Easter tended to the cooking. Lately, Easter did more cooking than Martha. During the winter months, she and Obie were hired out to the Phillips plantation, where Easter worked with the cooks. As she grew more experienced, Martha depended on her to do a lot of the cooking and baking on the farm. Obie worked with the Phillipses' carpenter. The money they earned helped the Jennings family live through the winter. The adults had finished eating their dinner, and now the children ate what was left over. Easter spooned stew onto each wooden plate. Obie took 3 battered tin cups from the fireplace and filled them with milk. Jason sat quietly at the oak table. They could hear Wilson's and John's voices in the sitting room, but couldn't tell what they were saying. Obie scooped a spoonful of the thick stew as Easter sat across from him and Jason. Easter bowed her head and reached for their hands, but Obie pulled his away and started eating. Obie's voice was soft as a feather as she said the grace. Jason lowered his head, but his eyes were wide open, staring hungrily at the food. When Easter finished, she said, Obie, Mistress says we have to thank God for this food. What I have to be thankful for? He took another spoonful of stew. Least we eat the same food Master and Mistress do. Master Phillips gives his people a peck of corn and some salt pork for the whole week. I should get more than this, hard as I work today. He took a long drink of milk. Now tell me what you hear about Tyler. She leaned closer to Obie. Mistress tell me the whole story, she whispered. Was a big battle in a place called Virginny. They bring he back in a box this morning. Mistress say nobody knew whether it really Tyler in there. Say they put a body in a box and send it home to Master Phillips because Tyler was an officer. Jason listened so intently that he stopped eating. Why they kilt Master Tyler? He bad? Hush, Easter said. Hush, Easter and Obie said to Jason at the same time. Obie recalled how proud and handsome Tyler had looked sitting on his horse. Easter took a bite of stew and continued her story. Mistress say most of them what die they bury right where they fall. What happened to Jeremiah? Obie asked. Mistress ain't say. Guess one of them cannonball get him too. Mistress seemed spooked, like something scaring her. Maybe Master John's scared of something too, Obie said, and told her that they were ordered not to leave the farm without a pass. Easter rested her spoon on the plate. Something's terrible wrong. Master evil as a buzzard when he come inside. Say something to Mistress about the war startin' for real. And Yankees, just a hollerin' about Yankees. Act like Wilson. He quiet when I walk in. Won't say nothin' in front of me. Jason picked up his cup and drank down the milk. Maybe they scare Yankee get them too, he said quietly. Hush, boy, Easter said. What you know about such things? They finished their meal in silence, listening to the muffled voices of the men. After they cleaned the kitchen, Obie went back to the barn. He decided not to try to see Buka that night, but to wait until the next day. Obie was sorry Tyler had to die, but he was glad for his funeral. He, Easter, and Jason would be alone while the Jennings went to the plantation. He'd been in the field since sunrise and was relieved when at 10 o'clock he saw John Jennings mount his horse. Martha and Wilson climbed into the wagon. Both men wore black frock coats. Martha wore her black bonnet and dress. Wilson had on the slouch hat he always wore. After the adults left, Easter and Jason walked out to the field where Obie worked. Jason carried some water. Wilson make a fuss this morning, Easter said. Say we poor farmers. No need for him to go to the funeral. Too much work to do. Obie dipped his cup in the bucket. He want to stay here to bother us. Easter squinted her eyes in the sun's glare. Wilson say Mistress should go, and he and Master should stay and work. Master say if they don't go and show they sorry Tyler dead, Master Phillips never buy a pea or an ear of corn from them again. I wish they stay the whole day, Obie said. He called to Jason, who had taken the mule and started working the rows of tobacco. Easter's eyes curled up at the corners as she smiled. Jason acting like a little man today, she said. I going to see Buka. You stay by the creek. Anyone come, start singing, Obie said, as Jason ran to him. Easter frowned. You shouldn't, Obie. You know what Master say last night. Suppose you not here when they come back. Obie pulled his straw hat over his eyes. They not coming back for a while. I not staying long. Buka's shack looked like a box with a smokestack on top. Inside, the only furniture he had was a small, rough table. The pallet he slept on was near the wall. The old man sat cross-legged in front of the fireplace, a cup of meal coffee in his hand. Buka used to hunt and fish and grow a few vegetables. During the cropping season, the Phillips plantation, and even some of the smaller planters, had used him as a field hand. He would do the work in exchange for food and clothing. For the past year, however, Obie noticed that a change had come over Buka. He seemed to shrivel up like a prune, his shoulders becoming round and his eyes red and weak-looking. He didn't fish or hunt any more, and rarely walked farther than the creek. Buka knew almost everyone in the county. When Charles Graves, his most recent master, had died, Buka was the eldest slave in the estate. He told Obie that story also. When they put me on the auction block, I make myself look sick and older than I already was, slump my shoulder like so. He'd hunch his shoulders and Obie would laugh. Then I had my head like so like my eyelid can't raise. He'd turn his head to one side and barely open his eyes. Then I curl my fingers like I have the rheumatism bad. No one by me. And that's the story of how old Buka free to this day. Buka was old then, but still strong enough to go from farm to farm doing odd jobs in the county. He'd even worked for John Jennings during the tobacco cropping season. Obie loved that time, with Buka telling stories while they picked tobacco leaves. Back then there was no Wilson around to bother them. Now that Buka was very old and weak, slaves from the neighboring farms and plantations visited him, bringing him food and news. To the whites he was merely an old slave who outlived his usefulness. To the blacks he was an African elder, deserving respect for having lived so long and survived so much. Obie sat in front of Buka and handed him a piece of cornbread he'd saved from breakfast. Buka looked away from the fireplace. What's troubling you? Buka asked. He offered Obie a cup of meal coffee. Obie disliked the bland liquid because he knew the taste of real coffee, but he took the cup so that Buka wouldn't be offended. You know Tyler dead. I know. The funeral today. 3 people come yesterday to tell me. What you think about this war? You think it time for me to go to the island, look for my ma? Buka stared into the darkened fireplace again. I remember the time you decide you go into the island. Your mistress sends you to deliver a message to Mistress Phillips. You deliver the message and then decide you running away to the island. Obie sighed. Yes, I remember. He was impatient for an answer, but he knew Buka rarely gave a simple yes or no. Good thing I catch you walking down the road. You going west and the island be east. He chuckled. You have to know whether the road you choose is the right one. He turned away from the fireplace and faced Obie. Suppose she ain't there no more. Then I keep going to Mexico, Obie said softly. This way I don't be thinking she's still there waiting. You can't do nothing without careful plan. That's how you be on the wrong road before. I hear Jeremiah put the box on the horse and point the horse south. He ride north. People say you go to the Yankee and you be free. Obie jumped up like a rabbit. It true, Buka? Buka shrugged his frail shoulders. It's only what I hear. But while the white man in confusion, this might be the best time to run. Obie was both frightened and excited by the idea. He sat down in front of Buka again and told him how John Jennings was becoming like Wilson. Course they alike, Buka said. They brothers, same as them Northmen and these whites down here. But they killin' each other, Obie said. Brothers do that sometimes. They's a lot of funerals 'cause of that Virginia battle. Tyler Phillips ain't the only one buried today. Absent-mindedly, Obie watched a spider building a web in the corner over the fireplace. I want run now, Buka, especially since Wilson home for good. We have to make careful plan. Go back. I come to the barn tonight. Don't make nobody suspicious. Obie left the shack and picked his way quickly over the small stones and brambles beside the creek. He stopped to take a drink of water. Suddenly he felt happy and excited. The blue, cloudless sky and the cold, fresh water added to his joy. It was a perfect day, perfect for a picnic. He'd get Easter and Jason, and they'd pick some peaches and get all the rest of the cornbread. They'd have a feast and wash it all down with clabber, a kind of milk they sometimes drank that had